Still kind of doing stuff behind the scenes, but welcome everyone. Good morning. Um, we've got a ton of stuff to cover. I mean, it's probably going to be like onesie, twosie, but they're very important. What's going on in the game industry right now? A lot of questions that I'm sure you guys will be able to help us answer collectively as freaking fans of this medium, right? Right now, Xbox is going through their 100-day reset with Asha Sharma, and I gotta say, a lot of people are upset, but we kind of saw this coming, especially with how Xbox kind of runs their studios. So one big question that I have to ask is, how long should studios, or parent companies, PlayStation, Xbox, how long should they give a chance to studios who are underperforming? And there's another question that we'll probably get to later in the stream, but that's one of the things that I really want to ask right now. But before we get into that, let's take a look at an article by a game developer. We kind of read through exactly what's going on. I mean, we have an idea, but this is the most updated. I want to say it was updated yesterday, so we'll see.
It is all still rumors and speculation, nothing confirmed yet.
Right.
As of right now.
Right. Let's get into that, and let's get into the article real fast, and then we'll talk about it. Okay. Yay. Don't have anything embarrassing up right now. All right. Game developer, Xbox announces a business reset amid reports of layoffs and studio closures. Man, I kind of feel like it's a foregone conclusion, that they're probably going to be cutting a ton.
Gutting.
Yes.
Basically.
Gutting. I want to say on X, a lot of people have been throwing around the word bloodbath. It's going to be a bloodbath.
That comes from Jason Schreier.
Yes. And I think he has a YouTube channel now.
Oh, yeah. He's gone full grifter mode.
Okay. This is game developer by Chris Kerr, senior editor. Xbox CEO Asha Sharma is preparing to reset Microsoft's video game division after years of decline. According to Bloomberg, the move will result in major cuts across the division shortly after the conclusion of Microsoft's fiscal year on June 30th, 2026. Xbox is reportedly also planning to reduce marketing budgets and spending across the areas of the business. Additional sources speaking to The Verge have indicated the cuts might even result in the studio closure or changes to the Xbox Game Studios lineup. I want to say both leaders stated that Xbox has found itself overextended after expanding its studio system at breakneck speed with the acquisitions of ZeniMax Media and Activision Blizzard. Oh, that's another. Okay. Microsoft spent almost $70 billion on the Call of Duty maker in 2023, but Sharma recently suggested it's unclear whether the deal is paying off. Okay. Yes. Some stuff to go into like real quick right off the bat. So I think I saw something yesterday that if they're not cutting them, they're trying to buy back their independence from Microsoft. I want to say, is that also a rumor, or is that actually happening?
That was the theory floated for Ninja Theory.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you want to get into the Senua stuff right now, but that was going around that they're cutting Ninja Theory. And people say, well, how can they cut Ninja Theory? At the showcase, they just showed off their new game.
Right.
And it's like, so apparently both Xbox and Ninja Theory knew the split up was happening. And so they showed off the trailer to entice any potential investors if they wanted to keep the studio under their brand or spin it off into something independent.
Yeah. And I find it really hard to believe that Ninja Theory wasn't brought in on that.
Yeah, that's nonsense. They absolutely knew. Anyone who's saying they didn't know is lying.
Right. So, and I think, and it feels like that was bought and paid for. I know this sounds so bad, but it feels like Xbox is kind of doing them a favor by paying for that advertisement for them at the
they didn't have to, yeah.
right. So they kind of was like, hey, here's a trailer for you guys to play at the Xbox Direct. What would they call it?
Showcase.
Showcase.
Oh, yes. Showcase. Yep, correct.
and they were like, here, we're gonna throw you a bone. We'll pay for this advertisement for the showcase just to entice any investors that might be interested, right? So I think, I don't like shilling for big companies, but come on, that's kind of a an awesome thing for them to do, especially after they kind of lost a lot of money, wasn't I want to say Senua was the one that cost $100 million to make, isn't that right?
The titles of these
Hellblade, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, look.
The titles of these are the problems. It's Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Hellblade 2, something else entirely. Hellblade 3 has dropped the Hellblade title and is now just called Senua.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. But I want to.
For me, I would say the issues I had with the Hellblade games, it felt more like a tech demo than really like a
full-fledged game. That's fair, dude. That is fair. I'm not gonna lie. I was a huge fan of the first game. I love how they tackled the kind of the mental health of it all. Yeah. Her having these separate voices talking to her. Yes, the gameplay or the fighting mechanics, they were super repetitive. Super repetitive. But I loved the Norse environment that they went through. Like, I want to say it was like the first boss you fight was the crow guy, and he was so much fun to fight. He was so much fun. And the puzzles were great too. I like the puzzles. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of Senua's Sacrifice. Didn't get a chance to play the second one because they made it an Xbox exclusive, which was a mistake. That was a mistake. 100%. I want to say the sales figures for the first game was like 500K, but they spent like 10 million. If Google is to be believed, they spent like $10 million to make the first game, and they were looking for a projection for 500K in, I want to say 6 months, and they got it in 3. So it was profitable in 3 months. Now we're looking at a budget that's 10 times as much, and with such a niche appeal, it doesn't have a widespread appeal for it to justify that 100 million.
They're just throwing money at all their problems. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so bloated. Like right now, the gaming industry, obviously with Grand Theft Auto 6, I know we're talking about Xbox. Their budget is crazy also, but they can pull it off because there's a demand for it. But I feel like now games are so bloated. Like, why are you $100 million? Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Oh yeah.
So I do understand that they're trying to do this reset where it's okay, where is the money going? Like we need to make sure. But even then, I feel like with Ninja Theory is, I feel like if you're dropped by Xbox, it kind of leaves a stain on you. So I don't know if any other investors are going to be very enthusiastic to pick them up. So that's the thing.
That's hilarious.
Do either of you remember a little game called Bleeding Edge?
That kind of sounds familiar, but no, go ahead.
That's Ninja Theory's live service game that failed and nobody played. Oh, no. We're also not talking about that. Everyone's forgotten. In memory hold that, but that was Concord like 5 years ago. So live that also kind of contributes to this.
Are killing us. Live services are killing us.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're not killing gamers. They're killing the people who make the games.
They're killing the people invested money into them for no reason.
Oh yeah. And that to be 100% honest, live service is probably the worst thing that could have happened to the gaming industry because once they saw that it was profitable, everyone tried to do it and failed miserably. Lost hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe even billions. And they what's funny is they blame us for that, not wanting to play their games. And the way I heard it explained is great. It's like, I already have a full-time job I don't want to have to log into a game that requires my full attention. I want to be able to veg out, play a video game, have fun, and then pop out. And it's not that big of a commitment. But these live service games are that. If you want to keep up with your gear, you want to keep up with the season passes and things like that, it's a full-on commitment. And absolutely not. Just no, dude. I'm not with that. But Bav, you touched on something backstage. I totally forgot what it was though.
It was live services. For me, I think the problem with live services is that it introduces the wrong crowd and introduces shareholders. And obviously, every gaming company is gonna have shareholders. But I feel like when you see the money flow or the potential that there is, and the amount of money that you can make, it could be the next Fortnite, the next Warzone, Roblox. It's just now you start making the decisions, and you're willing to just throw money at it because it's just an investment. So I feel like the issue with live services, especially if the person that's at the top, the leader, whether it's Xbox or Sony, if their priorities are not straight, that's how you end up with multiple studios that get a budget of 100 million just to create a game like a Concord or a Bleeding Edge. So I just think our priorities are not straight. And this reset, it's kind of harsh towards the studios because you asked me to make the live service because that was your priority. So to answer your original question, what how many chances was the time? It's kind of hard because I feel like these studios, they weren't given like a proper chance, especially because they were forced to. This isn't true for every studio, but they were forced to work on games that maybe they didn't want to work on. You had to work on this live service, so it's kind of hard.
Freaking Arcane comes to mind with their Vampire live service game. They didn't want to actually do that, and you kind of see that across multiple studios saying that. With Sony, freaking The Last of Us.
The Last of Us live service.
That
God of War live service. It's a trend.
Golly.
It is certainly a worse problem at Sony, considering they're still doing it.
Yes.
Whatever Xbox is doing right now, they're stopping it.
Yes.
Xbox's live service, their live service game, in air quotes, is Call of Duty because they own it. Sony has 4, 5, 10. How many have they tried? And they're going to keep trying. By the way, this isn't over. Horizon Hunters Gathering and their games.
It was funny about that one. The Horizon Hunters Gatherers is like, as soon as that hit, everyone was like, oh, that's gonna fail. That is Concord 3.0.
It's amazing that gamers can look at a trailer and instantly know. It's like, oh, this will suck. But the people who spend hundreds of millions on it have no clue.
It's the shareholders. It's because they're like, we made this investment, and the potential of us getting our investment back and more is so high.
Well, I do partially blame, shareholders and board members, but also those people aren't gamers, man.
No,
they don't play games. They invest in a thing with an expected return on investment. So Herman Holst and other hucksters come in there and say, "Hey, trust me, guys. If you give me $100 million, I'll give you back $200 million." Now the fact that it only worked for 2, maybe 3 companies in the last 10 years, people ignore it. Fortnite. Roblox and some other damn one I've already forgotten.
They have the Maddens and the FIFAs, but those were already established.
Exactly.
That is another problem, especially with Sony. Their first party versus third party outings. I don't know if you have anything for that, Fox, today, but Sony's first party stuff just isn't selling. Just straight up, people aren't buying Yote. People did not buy Saros. Certainly didn't buy Marathon.
No.
I didn't buy Marathon.
So. You kind of wonder, what are the budgets for those games? Like, why aren't we? Xbox is a popular target right now. I understand why, but for the love of crap, at least they're doing something. I said this on my podcast. Like, Xbox is the most interesting company right now because things are happening at lightning speed that we haven't seen happen in years. Sony and Nintendo are doing the same thing they've been doing the last 5 years with nothing changing.
Right.
And I would say, I know this is a crazy take, but I feel like Xbox out of the big three, Nintendo, Sony, Xbox, they're the most consumer friendly one,
It's starting to
which
feel that
sounds
way.
crazy.
Yeah.
But they are, especially the fact that they allow their games to be on PC and Game Pass. So originally at the starting price it was actually a great deal.
Oh yeah.
So
100%.
I do believe though, because you did mention something like Hellblade 2 shouldn't have been an exclusive. I do think that Xbox can really succeed if they don't focus on the physical Xbox. Like if you think of yourself as more of a distributor of games instead of having to lock yourself into, because first of all, the Xbox Series S is the reasons why we have a lot of games that are poorly optimized, because they want. But I do understand, because they're so consumer friendly that they're like, you know what, let's create a cheaper version of the Xbox. Like, even so I do understand that's their thinking. But I think that they have to pick a field. It's either we're going to be exclusive and we focus on our hardware, or we're just going to make sure that everybody gets an access to our games, and which sales will also get higher.
Yeah. And so the Series X or the S, I think would have been great, but they wanted to do the parity. It's like what you play, what you play on the Series X will also be able to play on Series S. And some of that stuff is just, you talk to developers, they're like, man, it's just so underpowered. We can't, we just can't do that. And I think that was one of the mistakes. He should have just said, here's a Series X, it's an affordable option for you, here you go. Instead of saying, it's like, will you be able to play on the X, the most technological advanced console out there, you'll be able to play on the S. And it's like, you shouldn't have done that, Phil Spencer. That was definitely a no-no. You shouldn't have done that.
You only needed one.
But some devs can make it work. Freaking Rockstar is about to make it work. Right. But I don't think they're ever going to do that again. No. I don't think you're going to get two versions of the Helix. You're going to get one version.
Which is, I think, they don't have the shots to be taking like that. You know what I mean? It's like the time for them to kind of experiment, it's kind of gone. Because, I mean, the rumor is, it's like if they can't come to some kind of profitability, they're going to be folded, spun off into their own thing, or, sold completely, which is crazy to think about. My God.
I do. Something we're not talking about also is like, okay, these are all business problems, and I get that. But we're not talking about the software problems. Why didn't Hellblade 2 sell? Because nobody wanted it.
Right.
Why didn't Kiln, the game from Double Fine, sell? Because nobody wanted it.
Right.
You have to look at these things. Like, I tweeted this as like, if someone at your company comes to you, I got a great idea for a video game. It's a multiplayer battle where you play as pottery. You fire them on the spot, because that's not a game people are going to buy. On the spot.
Right on.
So, and I would say, just to mention, because as of right now, Xbox has this high hopes for, obviously, Gears of War E-Day looks amazing, but I feel like they're banking so much on Halo and Gears of War, but the thing is, those stories are already told, right? So it's like, you're willing to get rid of all these other studios. Where are the new games going to come from? Where are the new stories are going to come from? If you're really banking on just Gears of War and Halo to sell your hardware, so I don't know.
That's true.
Well, is that not what the point of Game Pass is? Because people hear Game Pass and they only think about the big AAA day one titles, but there are a crap ton of independent and AA games on Game Pass as well.
That's true.
And Xbox does partially fund them by putting them on Game Pass because they pay the devs to do that.
Right.
So if you want, that's on the player, to be frank.
Yeah.
You have to go out and find something if you're willing to, and you have the time to go look for something different.
But I want to say Asha Sharma, she said that they are going to focus on their bigger AAA offerings like the Gears of War, the Halos, and which fine, as long as you're not like, the problem with a Hellblade is that it is barely a AA title, but you were giving it a AAA budget. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's like they can make those smaller titles work. You just have to, one, pay attention to what's going on. Quality control has to be one of the biggest things there. Like, I was thinking about this. Like, they don't have a Shuhei Yoshida there. You know what I mean? Someone to come in and say, hey, this game sucks. You need to either scrap it or start over from scratch.
There's a lot of, this is certainly true in the Sarah Bond era, of toxic positivity, shall we say.
Yeah.
There was we saw a lot of stories before the Arcane
Delusion.
about how great Redfall was and all this stuff. It's like, no, I've seen this game and it's great.
Yes.
And then it comes out, it's not very good. I think it was fine by the end of it.
Yeah.
And then they closed the studio down.
Too, so
yeah, and they closed the studio down. So it's like, but you guys said it was good. It's like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have lied to you and said that this was good. You're right. That's what probably should stop happening.
Yeah. And then I want to say there was a report. There was another studio. I mean, they've been closed down a lot of studios, but another studio that got shut down. And apparently Phil Spencer had played the game and liked the game, and then shut the studio down. It's like, but that was another thing. So starting from, the what do you call it? COVID. Starting from there, right? I don't know why a lot of these companies thought that we'd be stuck in our homes forever, for perpetuity, but that's obviously wasn't the case. Not the case. Okay, they started to buy up studios like it was going out of style, starting up, overhiring devs, and now it feels like we're getting to a point where that was the expansion. Now we're contracting to where the game industry really is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're getting rid of a lot of studios. Not Ember. What's that other one with Darth Lars as the CEO? I can't remember.
Embracer Group.
One of the worst offenders of all this, I think. Buying up studios and then cutting them as soon as they're, the arrow starts pointing down a little bit. He's like, oh, they all gotta go.
Yeah, you were asking about not giving games a chance. Yeah, Embracer didn't give anything a chance.
No, they did not. So for that question, right? How long does a parent company have to give a studio before it's like time to cut the cord and get rid of the studio? Does it depend on how much money you're spending on the studio or the results? Purely results.
The last game they made.
Okay.
It's like you're only as profitable as how much you just brought us in.
Right.
It's like, what have you? The old business adage of what have you done for me lately?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Xbox can't afford. I realize that Microsoft runs the most profitable companies on earth. I understand, but listen there. Xbox can't afford to keep giving studios chances.
Right.
Oh, we promise we'll make money a year from now. We can't do that anymore.
Right.
It's ain't a charity.
Absolutely fair. And man, and I know it's a sad thing, people losing their jobs, out on their behind. A lot of these guys move to different countries, are working from home and whatever.
I get that sentiment, but for something like Compulsion, which we've not talked about yet, Compulsion Games went out there, their CEO and their social media people went all and said, hey, you know what? I really hate gamers, and I particularly don't like white gamers. I wish white people weren't a thing. That's something they said at their studio. So if they get cut, I'm fine with that.
Right on. And absolutely fair.
Also, the game sucked. South of Midnight was terrible. I don't care what anybody says.
And also, you should never blame gamers for not playing your game, because gaming is such a simple thing. If the game is good, well played. If it's fun, well played. If we don't play it, it's not good.
Sony, pay attention to whoever's there right now, because where are the games?
It's that simple.
Where are the games?
It's that simple.
But
but I would say though, we should truly pull up the list of games that Xbox has released, because you can't even point out one studio that had like an amazing run. You feel me? So I feel like with Xbox, it's kind of, I understand now with the reset, they should have a metric on exactly how they decide, if you're being successful, if we're gonna keep you, if we're gonna give you a second chance. But every game got a horrible budget and it was inflated, and they frankly did not succeed. But I think with the reset, I do understand with Asha, and especially it sucks that a lot of people are losing their jobs, but that's what happens when the budget gets inflated and we don't know where the money's going. At least with Ninja Studios, they try to get them, another investor. So that was nice of them. But I think this is a reset that's really needed. And I think by them doing this, it really sets them on the right path, especially to a Project Helix. If it is because if the Steam machine, I know that we're not talking about the Steam machine, but from how it's looking, the Steam machine is going to be overpriced. So if Helix come at a right price, it's going to get a PC gamers and a console gamers. So I think Xbox is trying to get ready for the next run. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of proud of them right now.
Right on. With especially with the pricing, man, that's a good question. Do you think that they'll hold off, especially if they look at the numbers and they're like, dude, we're not going to be able to sell any of these at this price? Do you think they'll pull a Sony
all that,
and just push it back?
All of the pricing stuff it's one of those things that's both out of the console manufacturer's control and totally within their control.
Yeah.
Because this is the first console generation that Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo have all decided we're not selling these at a loss anymore.
Yeah.
We have to make profit on these plastic boxes are more important to us than the software.
Yes,
all three of them decided this.
Yep.
That's true.
Well, I think that's stupid and will ultimately lead to loss of sales. That was their business decisions for all this. The whole AI chip manufacturer thing, I think, is ultra overblown in terms of an excuse. It is an excuse. The same reason for inflation. It's for inflation. It's like, oh, it's more expensive because inflation. It's like, well, what does that mean exactly? Because we decided it's more expensive.
Well, yeah, and I mean, ultimately, it's going to be up to the gamers to how much they're willing to pay. Like,
yes. Now, Nintendo just proved that gamers will pay $80 for something. So you can
$90 even.
You can bet your ass GTA will be $80.
Now, okay, so what was funny is, you know, Nintendo proved they would, but Xbox proved they wouldn't also. Like with Outer Worlds.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like immediately, sorry about that. Here's $70, which is still
and then they said, oh yeah, that game didn't sell well at all. It's like, well, what do you want, guys?
Yeah.
They might, to be fair, you know what's not being talked about a studio that should be closed? They're going to be closed, but should be, is Obsidian. Obsidian hasn't produced, you know, what the heck with whatever I think about their games. They haven't produced something that's, you know, blown the doors off in many years. People want to look back on New Vegas fondly. None of the people who run New Vegas work there anymore.
So to me, man, it's like, how much are you producing for the company? You know, I know, like, I want to say, didn't Obsidian do Avowed?
Yes.
So, you know, how well did Avowed do? But
it did better than Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it was okay, but it wasn't a hit. But it wasn't like, but it was a decent. I think that's the word that I would use.
So, but my thing is, it feels like with these studios, they're getting a massive injection of cash for, and so I want to say what we were talking about was them getting Microsoft money or Xbox money. And then it feels like Xbox just completely says, here you go, let me know when you have something. And then these studios have the money and they're like, kick their feet up. It's like, all right, we'll have a game out when we have one out. You know, that's why it's not, you know, beyond the pale to think a decade or more for a game, for waiting for a studio to put a game out. You know what I mean?
Whatever you think about Ubisoft and their current problems, for a good stretch, they were putting out an Assassin's Creed every single year.
Yeah.
So it's doable. It's not like outside the realm of possibility to have a yearly game. Obviously, the EA games come out every year. So it's what are they doing right in those situations that Xbox and Sony can't do?
Right.
And I would say too, for me, I think the problem with Xbox compared to Sony and Nintendo is a lack of identity. Like, what are Xbox games? Back in the Xbox 360 era, you knew what a Xbox game was. So it's like, for me, at least now with Sony, they know their game. And like now, like God of War, even the new one, Wolverine, they all kind of have the same look to them, the same feel, where they're like, okay, this is our games. Nintendo, this is our games. For Xbox, they have so many options that to be frank, like they don't really know how to proceed. And but they do have Forza, they do have Halo, they have Gears of War, but other than that, I'm just like, Fallout. But when was the last Fallout? Starfield. That was good. But yeah, so I just feel like it's a lack of identity, but I do believe with Asha, she can change that. So we'll see.
I see, and that was the thing, like when people were like, oh, she's not even a gamer, I was like, dude, she doesn't need to be. You know what I mean? No. She just needs to provide that runway for studios to make something great. However, the going back to the old plan of just throwing cash at studios and just turning your back and say, hey man, have me a game whenever you can, and then studios.
That was another thing that was going around during the Phil Spencer era, is that he was very hands off.
Oh, dude.
He's doing what you said. He's like, yeah, good luck, guys. I'll see you when you're ready.
He's just playing Fallout in his free time.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, Asha Sharma isn't a gamer. It's like, okay, Phil Spencer was, and we're still in this position.
Oh my
God.
Yeah.
Does that matter?
It doesn't.
And here's on the other side, Herman Holst was the head of a studio, made those awesome Killzone games, made to moderately good Horizon games, and now he sucks at his job.
Yes.
So maybe we shouldn't have gamers as CEOs if they're going to overspend.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That's right.
Right. I think what got left behind by Phil Spencer, this was an inevitability. She was gonna have to do this. I think Phil he pushed it off, kicked the can down the road, because
a little bit.
I think he wanted his legacy to be the best gaming CEO there ever was, or the all around good guy, or whatever.
His initial first year on the job was incredible.
Yeah.
Because he said, okay, first thing we do is get rid of the Kinect crap. Gamers don't want it. No one cares. Knock $100 off the console.
Yep.
We're getting rid of all this TV nonsense. Nobody watches TV on their Xbox. Now, please ignore that they do now. But back then they didn't.
Yeah, that's right.
So, that first couple of years of him as CEO, when they were turning around the company the first time, that was helpful. But they were so far behind by that time, the Xbox One, PS4 generation.
Yes.
Sony leaped ahead.
Yeah.
Now, they find themselves in interesting positions where Sony is still ahead, but what games are they playing on those Sony consoles?
Exactly.
All
third
Forza,
party.
Yeah, Forza was the
third party games. Yeah.
Forza was the #1 selling game on PlayStation last year.
Freaking, and not only that, the diminishing returns with all these sequels, Last of Us 2, God of War Ragnarok, Ghost of Yotei. It's all diminishing returns. But if you look at a Stellar Blade, or what's another third-party game? But PlayStation has been running on third-party studios for this generation. They haven't been putting out any good games. I like Ragnarok though. I really like Ragnarok. So. And that's coming from a dad perspective though. I played that with the eyes of a dad, it's like,
sure. So you play Laufey with the eyes of a mom?
Yes. No, I'm just kidding. No, freaking. So with Laufey, I think that was a mistake to kind of run it in parallel with the 2018 or Ragnarok story. They should have done a prequel with her. Why didn't they just do that? Because
shouldn't have made the game at all.
Well, I would look forward to a prequel. You know what I mean? It's like, see how they met, the journey over to the Norse world. That would have been crazy. They did a comic book. He passed through Egypt, the Egyptian whatever, to get to the Norse one, which is kind of cool. But I would have liked to see a prequel with Laufey, to see her battles and fighting with Thor. Freaking that to me, that would have been cool. But
okay, you do that. You do that with what they did with the Sons of Sparta game.
Yes.
You make a smaller title that's cheaper.
Yes.
You do not spend $350 million and slap the God of War title on it.
And that's
the budget of it.
I'm guessing, because that's what Spider-Man was.
I was gonna say Spider-Man. Yeah.
And so my thing is this exact same problem with what's going on with these smaller studios now. It's like you're throwing a AAA budget at something that should be like a DLC.
Yeah.
DLC. That's right. Yeah, it should be a DLC.
It should not be a full-fledged game.
But I think God of War right now, though, since is the leader of Sony when it comes, to the experience of what the PS5 has to offer. If they tie the story together in a way that makes sense, I think a lot of people won't mind it. and the gameplay does look good. And I think too, God of War is one of those games where it's like everyone is going to play it because they have been doing pretty great with it. But I do agree though, that's not a game that you need to spend 350 million on. Well, obviously we don't know that. And also too, because you're not using a new engine, it's not going to a next generation. It's literally just a reskin.
Right. Well, yeah. But I wouldn't put it past them. I should say that, because with Spider-Man and then Spider-Man 2, a lot of those assets were still there, but they still spent like $350 million on it. You know what I mean? Crazy money. It's like,
you have to assume, by the way, Wolverine is going to be the same issue.
Exactly. Because
even though it, just looking at it, it looks smaller. Wolverine is not going to be an open world style game like Spider-Man was.
Which I like.
It's to its benefit, but hopefully they didn't spend as much on that. But it looks like there are going to be a ton of cutscenes. You know, with it not being an open world for you to go around and explore, that's a lot of money spent on cinematics. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
So for me, the question I would have is, right, so we need to set a base on how much you should spend on a game. So let's say I don't know how much it costs to make Elden Ring, right? But I feel like Elden Ring is the greatest game of the 2020s, right? We could argue that. So it's like, if you're spending 3 times or 4 times that, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't care if it's Spider-Man, I don't care if it's God of War. So I feel like we just need like a baseline where it's okay, we can't go over this threshold. And I feel like now with games, it just whatever budget you want or need, here you go. And then they're shot that studio fell, which they shouldn't have fell because they have the budget. But it doesn't matter what the budget is. If the premise of the game does not make sense to a gamer, it will fail.
And you're hitting a nail on the head. I think that's where all of this is stemming from. It's like these guys have, it's like a teenager. You have no concept of money, like
no concept of money.
How much something should cost. It's like you've geared up with manpower, you've thrown them endless amounts of cash, and then when it comes out and flops, you're like, well, why didn't that work? It's like, well, one, you need to budget better. You need to like really assess, do you really need 1,000 people in this studio? Do you really need to pay, $100 million in marketing for this? Or, $350 or
do we need to have that annoying guy from The Boys mocap a cube?
Wade.
Thank you. That's he probably cost like 10 to 12 million or something like that.
Yes, 100%.
Insane, bro.
That's another.
Oh my
it's
God.
Like, why are you hiring Hollywood actors? They're,
we don't need that.
No, it's like, because they're gonna ask for more. Get a freaking up and coming voice actor.
I'm not gonna go, oh my God, Jack Quaid from The Boys is in the God of War game, I have to play it. Bro, I'm a gamer. I don't care who's doing the voice acting. What are we doing?
Exactly, dude. That's another thing. They want to be Hollywood, it feels like.
That's why they're spending all these big budget. Well, Hollywood kind of have the same problem too with their budgets. So I just think, I don't know if it's due to inflation. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are just throwing money everywhere and they just don't care.
Oh, dude, it's really bad. And I think what got them in that mentality is, the pandemic. It's like everyone's in their homes.
We're willing to pay for it.
Yeah,
we're willing to pay for it. Even now, like PS5 went up to $200, or even if the Switch Mario Kart is $80. Someone out there is going to buy it, and if enough people buy it, then it was justified,
right,
in their mind.
Another thing is like, I don't think we'll ever know how much it costs to make Wolverine. I don't think we'll ever know for sure. We can kind of speculate. I think the only reason we knew how much Spider-Man was because of the court case with the acquisition with Xbox. Okay. I think that's the only reason we knew how much that costs. I don't think we'll know how much Wolverine costs, and I don't think we'll know how much it sold, because for some reason,
I'll say based on the previous Sony games, Wolverine will do fine. Wolverine 2 will not do as well.
Right.
Because that's how these all have gone. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. But
I do too.
God of War 2018 sold a lot. Ragnarok, not as much. Ghost of Tsushima sold a lot. Yote, not as much. Spider-Man 1 sold a lot. Spider-Man 2, not as much. Horizon Zero Dawn sold a lot. Horizon Forbidden West, not a lot. It keeps happening over and over and over at Sony. And you have to start asking why. Last of Us, I forgot, excuse me. Last of Us 1 sold really well. Last of Us 2, no, it did not so well.
we know why. So I would say though, it's because the sequel, to be frank, is not better in the first game, and the initial excitement that you get, just going into that new world, the sense of adventure, they don't really replicate that in the second game. For example, Spider-Man 2, which I got a platinum trophy on it, right? That game was. I love Spider-Man. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I don't know if you guys can tell. I have a Spider-Man poster in here. It's like that game to me it was okay. Like it didn't feel like it just felt like they just made it just because they're like, oh, we have to make it. This is our new IP. I just feel like I don't know, and especially too if they spent like 250 million on it. I'm like, that game is not better than the first one, nor is it better than the Miles Morales game.
I like Miles, dude. That one was
only
good.
8 hours.
Which
is only 8 hours, right? So I think too another thing is not just budget, is that every game does not have to be 40 hours.
Right? No, dude.
Every game does not have to have AAA graphics. I feel like we just need to go back to because if we take PS2 games, even now, if you go back and play PS2 games, it don't matter the graphics, because you understand what makes a game fun. So I feel like we need to go back to that, to understanding what makes a game fun. Because I feel like now they don't have the formula.
No.
I also think in every one of the sequels I named, the story of the second game is worse in every single case.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
But that without a doubt, dude. Without a doubt. And I'll concede that 2018 God of War was a way better story than Ragnarok. Ragnarok was kind of a mess, but
too many characters.
We were jumping breakneck speed from place to place. We had to go get this thing. Now we got to go get that thing. It's like, okay, I guess. And playing as Atreus was not that fun. So yeah.
2018 was actually a story that was being told, or even of the bonding of a father and a son that now are lost, and they just lost their mom, which is like a anchor. The second one was cool because of who was featured in it. Odin, Thor. Those are characters that everyone will always love. So I do agree. Obviously, at first I was like, I did enjoy the story of Ragnarok, but was it better than the first one? Absolutely not.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Definitely, I would concede that.
So Sony's next idea in that universe is to undermine both of those games. By letting you play as Kratos' second dead wife.
And she's not even a god, so why did she go to a realm for dead gods? She's a giant.
The marketing for Love Bay might be one of the worst things I've ever seen. Because almost every single day, PlayStation has been tweeting about this stuff, and journalists are running.
Really?
Journalists keep running with this dumb story of, hey, if it's an afterlife for gods, maybe we'll see the gods from the original games that Kratos killed. It's like, who cares? Who cares though? Because Kratos won't be the one talking to them. He'll be his second dead wife. What involvement does she have in that?
Right. And honestly, I don't.
As we said, if this was a DLC, this would have made sense. But the fact it's a full-on game, I can see why a lot of people are saying. I don't know about that.
And I don't like the story of there being a realm of dead gods. Like I don't. What are we doing?
What happens if you die in the realm of dead gods? Do you go to double heaven?
Yes. Like, dude, you are like painting yourself in a corner with this crap. It's like there shouldn't be a realm for dead gods. It just shouldn't be. If you want to tackle those pantheons, those mythologies, just have Kratos go to those mythologies. Don't, it's like, oh, we can have them all fight in this one place, and then you get your Egyptian, you get your Chinese, you get your Japanese, you get all these mythologies in one. And it's like, I don't want that. That doesn't make sense to me. That's not a good story.
Even if we wanted that, we would want it with Kratos, not with his wife.
Yes.
Yeah. Fair.
What Sony has not learned is the titles of these games matter.
Yes.
And to people, to gamers, whatever we think here, the general gaming audience, Kratos is the god of war.
Yes.
You can do whatever you want with your DLC story. You can say, actually, we're passing on the mantle. No, it doesn't work like that. This would be the same thing if they made an Uncharted game starring Nathan Drake's daughter, like they teased at the end of 4. Gamers aren't going to want that game.
No.
That's his series. You can't just replace the titular people. Gears of War, for God's sakes. Xbox is going Gears of War back to the original duo that started this franchise because they recognize that those Marcus and Dom are the Gears of War. They're the ones people care about.
Yes. Yep.
They did not care about what's her nuts in Gears 5.
Yeah. Didn't she turn out to be like a?
Like it was awful. She was the key to everything. She was like a locust queen. It's a terrible story.
Amazing. Like, dude, one of the things, like being a PlayStation guy, I got to play Gears a little bit and it was awesome. I loved it. And I was like, damn, I want to play this game, but I'm not willing to get an Xbox for this. So I kind of fell off with the story and seeing where they went with it. I'm like, man, you guys fumbled the bag so hard with that. So it's like, good Lord. But let's see. So with all of these studios being shut down by Xbox, here, let me see, because I do have some questions for you guys. But we went off on a big tangent, which was great.
Huge.
So let's see. Well, I kind of asked all the questions. Okay, here, let's see. Let's go back here real fast because we don't need that that article right now. I think we kind of caught everyone up on what's going on.
Yeah.
The question is like, really, how do we get here? And is Asha Sharma on the right path to right the ship for Xbox? And if she's not able to, what will become of Xbox after that? You know what I mean?
So I would say it's kind of hard because this is good because right now she's doing damage control, right? Which is good. Which, as you guys said, Phil Spencer did the same thing once he came in, right? But I feel like if you don't truly understand what makes a game good or how to create good games, it doesn't matter because you're just going to invest in wrong studios. So I feel like this is a great start, but I'm not really sold yet till for the next 3 years if they actually drop bangers. And I'm not talking about first party. Well, I'm not talking about like the Gears of Wars or the Halos. Like, I want them to take risk, but it has to be on smaller studios, smaller budgets. And if those succeed, then I think we're going into the right path.
Okay.
Ask me again in a year. It's too tumultuous to predict.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I'm glad that they're doing something. Whether or not that something pays off, well, the other problem people aren't talking about is this isn't really Asha Sharma's fault.
Right.
It's Satya Nadella's, the head of Microsoft, who does not play games and does not care about video games whatsoever. And
he's on his
he
AI.
would cut. Yeah, he would cut Xbox, no problem. That's the other thing. When she has been not doing what anyone expected her to do when she first got announced as a job.
That's
Everyone was
right.
like, oh, she came from AI, so she can put more AI into things. She's like, okay, we don't need Copilot. No one cares.
Right.
Or you're fired. Or you're gone. You're out of here. So if she's cleaning
house
house
for those guys.
If she's cleaning house and the result ends up with great games and profit for Xbox, then hey, it was a win. But it was a good idea after all. Because as opposed to stagnation, like we said earlier, of Sony and Nintendo not changing anything, it's like, well, how long can you keep doing that?
Right.
As we already said, Sony games aren't selling, so I don't know why you keep trying to do the same thing over and over.
And they're not putting on PC, which I don't understand their mindset there. I feel like Sony is banking so much on exclusivity that they don't understand that is going to be a double-edged sword.
Oh yeah, 100%
in the future, especially now. Like PS5s are not really selling as much, so I don't know. So I feel like I'll say right now, Switch is doing pretty good. Nintendo, I feel like because they don't have to do as much damage control as Sony and Xbox, but we're gonna see. But I do think though, with Xbox is they do have the Elder Scrolls 6 coming out, maybe a new Fallout coming out. So I feel like as long as they forget about this generation and they understand it's a dead generation and they get ready for the next one, I think they can get back on their feet. But is Microsoft going to give them the time to actually bloom and do that? That we don't know.
Right on.
Because right now everything is AI, everything is a profit AI bubble. You feel me? So.
Oh yeah, this is like, and that's one of the things that Satya Nadella, he's full throttle ahead on the AI. That's
Yeah.
and I do appreciate Asha Sharma coming out and saying, "Hey guys, don't have to worry about AI. We won't be putting any of that in the games."
Copilot and Xbox.
Right, and
Yeah.
to I get why she had to do that. That's damage control. But to be honest, like if a game is made with AI, if it's a good game, people are still going to buy it. Like I know you have all the doomsayers and things like that. It's like they're worried about their jobs, they're worried about their friends' jobs and things like that. Fine, fair, but let's say Asha Sharma didn't come out and say that, and they did put AI in the games. Uh, Gears of War E-Day had AI in it. People are still going to buy that game. So it's like
For sure.
we're the gamer will ultimately decide what flies and what doesn't. You know what I mean? And
For sure.
they will tell you by showing up or not showing up for your game.
Yeah.
All the
And I would say
outside noise,
too, with Unreal Engine 6, announcing that they're going to use generative AI, I think that kind of already set up the future
I wonder
of gaming.
I wonder what that does to Steam, because Steam requires you to put that in your description whenever you're putting it on your game on Steam. So I wonder, are they just going to take that off, or?
It's just, I think by then, because Unreal Engine 6 is set to come out in 2029. I think by then, like the scope of AI and just the public reception of AI will be different.
Right on.
By then,
it's either going to crash, or it's going to be everywhere by 2029. Yeah. 100%.
It also depends on what it's being used for. AI isn't making games.
Right.
It's writing. It's helping people write scripts, and it's helping artists visualize concepts.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah. And so, yeah. Go ahead.
It's just a tool.
There was good. No, Bav had something.
Well,
it's just a tool. Yeah.
Yes. There's the story last year, if you recall, Fox. Expedition 33 won all the Game of the Year's awards and the Indie Game of the Year award from some company. And then it found out, oh, we accidentally left an AI asset in the game. But don't worry, because it was removed with the day one patch, so no gamer ever saw it. But the Indie Game awards company found out and said, oh, we're taking away your Indie Award. We can't have AI in our games. No,
absolutely silly. To me, that it's like, to me, it's its own ideology. It's like people are going so hard on hating AI.
Journalists, especially like a PC gamer, despise it, but they won't tell us why. It's like, oh, it'll lead to loss of jobs. What jobs? Who's losing the jobs? Tell me, show me.
Their jobs.
Yes, correct.
That's why they hate it. And I get it. If there are self-driving cars, but if they get to the point where trucks that deliver your stuff are self-driven and there's no need for me anymore, I'll be upset, but I'll learn how to code, I guess. You know what I mean?
Even the code. That's. I think though. Obviously, this is a different topic than what we're going with, because I see AI, especially the AI we have now, as just a collaboration of humans, right? Because if you take Claude, all it did was scan a bunch of books and they put it together. So even the same thing is like AI. Just because a game has AI on it doesn't mean that it will be AI slop.
Right.
We've played horrible games that had nothing to do with AI, so I think it doesn't really matter. But I do
they can
think
make bad games all on their own.
I think we just need to find a way to contribute to AI. So let's say because that was the problem with Claude, right? It's like a lot of people felt like, okay, if you're going to use my books, you can just ask me, so I can pay you and you can use my rights. So but I think maybe in the future we'll figure out a way to integrate AI in a way that a lot of people don't feel like it's taking their jobs. But the job thing is a whole different story, though.
Sony in their recent thing is like 2 days ago or yesterday, whenever, said, okay, officially we're gonna do the PC thing on a case-by-case basis. We still don't know what's coming to PC and what isn't. But they also in that big report or whatever said, oh yeah, we're gonna start implementing AI in all our stuff too.
Yeah. But just funny because AI is such a buzz or broad term. It's like
yes. Nobody knows. Nobody can actually define what it is.
It's just there because 100%. The shareholders once they hear AI. Because I remember, this is like a sidetrack. I was helping my father-in-law set up his speakers, and it was an AI mode. I was like, what the heck is an AI mode and speakers? So it's just they just throw everything in there. It's just AI. Okay, that's what the shareholders want to hear. AI this, AI that.
That's so funny. It's like to me that sounded like kind of, a boomer millennial relationship. It's like, can you help this old guy come and set up his speakers? It's like, sure, I'll be over there in a second. That's so funny, dude. I'm sorry. I don't.
No, that's just like a regular life thing where we all go through it.
Yeah. That's so funny, man. No,
but how do you guys feel
boomers out there
about PS5 and deciding like they want to down the hill of exclusivity? Like, how do you guys feel about that?
About who exclusivity?
Sony.
I think it's a bad idea, especially the reasoning behind it is like, oh, we want to keep our brand pure or whatever, and it's like, where your brand is taking massive hits left and right. They haven't found a rake that they're not willing to step on. You know what I mean? So you're degrading your brand, and then the games that people actually do want to play from your studio or from your company, you're not letting them. So it makes no sense to me. It's like, I think it's a mistake. If they were making banger after banger after banger, it's like you have a case to be made for that, but they just aren't. They're just not doing that. So
there's an excuse that a lot of people believe that because of the delay, right? Because they were never day and date with PC. It would be like a year or two, then the Sony game would come to PC. People were like, well, we've already all seen it on YouTube or whatever. There's a story. There's nothing to it. I think that's a stupid excuse.
Yeah.
This week, Resident Evil co-creator Shinji Mikami also said, hey, if you're just watching the game, you're not really playing it. That's not the same thing.
That's right.
So I think that's a dumb excuse. For the reason people don't buy your games on PC because they're not any good. Because they don't want them.
100%.
That's the only reason.
I think so because with Grand Theft Auto 6 will sell on PC once it drops in a year and a half or two. So I don't really,
Oh yeah, they're like the only company that can do that. Like with timed exclusives, it kind of only works for the games that have like the mass appeal. Your GTA 6s. What else? Call of Duty maybe?
Not anymore.
Not as much,
Yeah.
But no, freaking it's not a everybody can do that kind of thing, because the
Sony game that did the best on PC was not a game they technically own, was Stellar Blade.
Exactly.
That did like 3 million on PC. It outsold PC than it did on PlayStation.
Yeah.
And it did.
And they bought out their contract, right?
Yes. The studio did so well. They're self-publishing their next title, and they're publishing other studios' titles. They've become a publisher themselves.
Oh, nice.
They're publishing. Right. In fact, Shinji Mikami's next game.
I think that's a good place for them to be, and I think a lot of change is going to have to come from these studios that are, second party, third party, realizing that they stand to make more money going multi-platform. Square Enix, they realize this, shift up, realize this. I want to say Arrowhead is following that same thing. I think the next game they make is going to be multi-platform. So what will Sony have after that? It's kind of like Omni-Man talking to he's like, what will you have after all this is gone, Sony?
It's gone.
You'll have Naughty
I think
Dog.
I miss my fan base.
I think I saw that. Thanks, Sony.
There are a lot of good questions going on. Well, the good discussions going on in here. I'm gonna do this one real fast if it comes up. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Hi-Fi Rush. I hate Xbox for that. That was oh my god.
But my thing is, it feeds into the question about these artsy games that aren't built to sell. Now, I looked this up before we came online. I couldn't find the numbers for Hi-Fi Rush, but apparently it didn't sell that well. But it won all of the awards in the world. It's like, sure. And I want to say, what's the other one? South of Midnight won all the awards, but didn't make any money. And that was one of the things that not a lot of people were talking about at the time. They were like, oh, they got rid of Tango Gameworks. Well, it's like, well, did Hi-Fi Rush sell? Did it sell enough to make itself unsellable? And I think the answer to that is obviously not. They made a good game with Hi-Fi Rush, which I want to play. I haven't played it yet, but I'll get around to it.
I think Hi-Fi Rush is bad.
You think it's bad?
I
You
don't
don't
like
like
it.
the premise
The
of it?
mechanics are fine. The characters I find irritating as hell.
Mhm.
I hate the Fry from Futurama character. They just made him like a cringe idiot, and the girl with the
Mhm.
sideswipe haircut who's right all the time about everything.
Yeah.
Hate him.
Mhm.
Only Fry can be Fry. You
Mhm.
know, there's no other one.
Yeah.
You freaking.
But I think so. How do they decide like the sell, especially when a game is available on Game Pass? Because that does play a big part. So it's like, so do they just go off like PC sales? I don't know if it was also on PS5. So like, how do you decide the sales if you know for sure a game was on Game Pass? Like, because wouldn't it
Well,
being
then
on
know that ahead
Game
of time.
Pass?
I hate this.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Bev. I hate this argument because
Yeah.
it is always the people aren't going to play because it's on Game Pass. Buddy, they get paid from Game Pass. It's not like they're putting them on Game Pass for free.
Right.
These
Right.
studios are getting paid to put these games on Game Pass, and
Mhm.
if Game Pass wasn't profitable, they would have stopped it already. It's been almost 10 years of, and maybe even more than 10 years of Game Pass already, and they're still
Yeah.
going with it. It's a $5 billion.
I love Game Pass. Don't get me wrong, especially now that they made it cheaper. Shout out
Yeah.
Asha. Yeah.
But I don't think the reason people aren't buying games is because of Game Pass. I think that's a silly excuse.
No.
Because Forza says otherwise.
Right.
Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah, right. You're right.
Forza,
You're right.
Forza Horizon 5 was the best-selling game on PlayStation last year. Forza Horizon 6.
6 right now is going crazy. Yeah.
Forza Horizon 6, before it launched on Game Pass, was on Steam in early access and was already at 2 million.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
That was 3 days early. That was just Steam. That wasn't even Game Pass numbers.
So do you think that for their big ones, their major sellers, maybe hold off putting it on Game Pass?
No, the opposite. You
Okay.
you have to do the day and date thing.
Okay.
This is something I think Sony should have done to get eyeballs on it.
Gotcha.
There are a significant amount of players who will try a game, then buy a game.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
true.
Yes.
And that's something that is not being talked about with Game Pass. Is we always want to talk about the top end stuff, but there are like 100 games that I would never have played ever in my life if they weren't on Game Pass. But I did, and I'm glad I did because the barrier for entry was so low. It's less of a risk, right?
Yeah.
You're paying $80 for Wolverine. You know that's going to be a risk, and you hope it doesn't suck.
Yes.
If I'm paying $20 a month for Game Pass, I have a certain amount of games I can risk is very low.
Yes.
It's like, it's actually good, so it was worth my time to do it.
Right on.
And also too, if you really enjoy the game, there's a lot of people that will go out and buy the game to support the devs.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%. And you see this all the time. Or especially if you have multiple consoles, it's like, I bought it for my PlayStation and my Xbox and on PC.
And
They will do
I bought
that.
it for me and my wife.
Yeah.
That's how it be. Yeah.
Or buy a gift for a friend.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there goes those auxiliary sales for you. So yeah. No, 100%.
Okay.
100% agree.
That's right.
All right, let's see if I can get this centered. Let's see. Come on, come over here. Okay. KC, everyone is bored of PlayStation first-party games as they're all the same. Xbox is Gears, Halo, Forza, but only Forza has been good, but the same game since 3. I think he might have a point there. It's like,
I think he has a point too, because it's like if you played one first party game for Sony, you kind of got the same experience. Where back then, like, obviously we keep going back to the PS2 and PS3 era, because games back then. It just felt like a different experience. Where now I do believe like if you played one first party game from Sony, you kind of understand just the formula. It's kind of the same. And for Xbox, Gears and Halo haven't been successful, but I do think with the new Halo campaign involved and the new Gears, they're getting back on there. But Forza has been doing great since Forza 4.
Okay, right on.
Well, Forza Horizon has been doing very well. Forza Motorsport has not. Which is why they've stopped it entirely.
Yeah.
Right on.
Again, that comes down to quality of game.
That's right.
Forza Horizon 5 and 6 are some of the best reviewed and most played games of the last 2 years.
Right.
So it's all about quality, man. Gamers will buy great games. It's very rare. This happens all the time with movies. It's like, it's a great movie that nobody saw. That doesn't happen with video games. If it's a great game, people will play it.
Yeah.
Word of mouth and social media now too. I think too, that's a problem too. Now that because Loki said something great about risk, especially now if like games are $80, I'm going to be more conservative with my money because I don't want to take that risk and your game is not great. So in
100%.
order for me to really play a game, it has to be great. So I do think like a $80 price point is very steep.
Yeah, yeah, and again, the only studios that would be able to pull that off are the ones that everyone and their mom are
Grand
looking
Theft
forward
Auto
to.
6 is the only game that comes to mind because even Arc
Same.
Raiders was $40.
Mhm.
Um, Silk Song was 20, but it's like
Yeah,
$80 to me. I don't get that ceiling. Like I don't get it. I don't
yeah,
get it.
me neither. It's like
Yeah.
if we can't eat in the AAA space, and AAA is gonna find this out, they're already
Mhm.
finding out the hard way because
Yeah.
it's not like people aren't playing games anymore. They're just playing indie titles, cheaper games.
They are playing the
not playing
titles,
AAA experiences.
retro games also.
Yeah. So,
And it's not like it's a dead medium either,
Right.
because
yeah,
aside from that, the second best selling game of the year is Resident Evil 9,
yes,
and that's a AAA game.
yeah,
But it's by I don't much care for it, but it is.
oh yeah, no,
It's well reviewed and people really like it. So again, cream rises to the top in the video game industry. Bad games don't make money. I don't know why this is such a foreign concept.
Capcom has been on the run.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
dude, they had they had the Requiem, and then they had Pragmata like right after that.
Pragmata was great. I only played the demo, but I did enjoy the demo.
That's another one that's in my wish list right now.
It was just different.
Right on. And it, oh man, the whole conversation, which we don't have to get into right now, but it was, I think it kind of, what do you call it, the Streisand effect? I think it did that. Like how everyone was railing against Hogwarts Legacy, and that sold like 25 million units. I think it kind of had the same effect on Pragmata, because the conversation happening, the controversy was just so wackadoodle crazy.
What was it? I didn't hear about it.
Oh, apparently if you wanted to play Pragmata, you were somehow a someone who enjoys the company of young.
I can see that. Okay, I understand where they're going. I think I disagree, obviously, because the first thing that I thought was, oh man, this daughter and father relationship, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think now a lot of people just try to project, and also too, it's just what's going on in the world, man? What are we doing?
What's so funny is like you kind of out yourself when you say stuff like that. You know
that
what I'm saying?
Never crossed my mind, not once. I was just like, oh, she's so cute. She reminds me of like a daughter and father. Really,
like I've got two daughters. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, that's it's all right for this guy to try to protect this young girl. It's like, why is that weird? But they made it weird, and they kind of outed themselves. It's like,
now, if she had some weird attire, you know what I mean, like the way that she was dressed. Or,
it is a tiny bit of racism, because that's the same story of Last of Us 1, and nobody had a problem with that.
Right. Well, yeah. Wait, they're both what? Wait.
Because it's a Japanese studio made Pragmata, but an American studio made Last of Us.
Well,
so suddenly we're okay with one, but not okay with the other.
It feels like they're railing against the Western studio or the Eastern studios because they're doing really well.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
It's like
Eastern, we're talking about all this. Yeah, I talked about it on my podcast, but we're AI or AAA games in the West here are doing very badly, but they're not in Japan or China or Korea. They've figured out what sells.
Yeah,
Marvel Rivals is working out just fine. A dozen gacha games from China, etc. But over here in America, we're like, what the hell are we doing with the gaming industry now? No clue.
Right, we're in like some kind of holding pattern. Oh yeah, and another question I wanted to ask you guys, like, when we're on Toy Story 5 now. Gaming does this too. So, and I think Toy Story 1 through 3 was the best trilogy that you could ever hope for. It's one of my favorite trilogies, dude. It's so good. When is it time to say goodbye to a story? Like, we're on, like the 6th Gears game. We're on the, what is it? 3, 4, 5, 6th freaking God of War game. Like where they're going with another Last of Us. Man, as much as
It's
I'm not gonna play this game, but the Heretic Prophet, at least they're doing something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's risk aversion. It's terror of, well, a part of it, again, we keep going back to budget. It's like we're spending a crap ton of money. We need to spend a crap ton of money on something that's guaranteed, rather than spending a little
To
bit of
get us
money on a
return on investment. Yeah.
yeah, rather than spending a little bit of money on some less of a sure thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'll say too, we're to blame. Whereas in the consumers, because I'm gonna use a Dragon Ball, right? Doesn't matter how many times Dragon Ball, Pokemon comes back, or Spider-Man, or now Toy Story 5, which we're probably gonna get to Toy Story 9 in the future, right? It's it sells, and that's the problem. Is because it does sell. Because the reason that they're doing it, I don't think Toy Story 5 is going to flop, especially to someone that grew up with Toy Story. You'll probably want to introduce your kids to that story, even if it's a new iteration. Obviously, you could show them Toy Story 1 through 3. So I think it's just wanting to share something that you grew up with, to share that experience. So I think that's kind of what it leads to. Obviously, I don't agree with it, because I do believe that stories deserve to end, because that's what makes a story good, is that it has a start and an end.
These things do eventually plateau and fall off.
For sure.
You look at the Jurassic Park movies.
Oh gosh.
they plateaued at Jurassic World, right? That made like $2 billion, but then the next movie made slightly less, and the next movie made slightly less, and so Rebirth made even less than that. So it's the same thing with like video games.
Deservedly so.
At a certain point, the audience says, all right, I'm bored of this. Then it goes down, down, and down, and down, and down until it stops happening.
What about
Toy
Fast
Story
and Furious?
4?
Oh,
well, that has a budgeting problem, actually. Those movies are too expensive. Toy Story 4 made $1 billion, so we're gonna see at least 2 more of those.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So my thing is like, sure, it justifies itself by making this money. I'm not gonna see 5. And I kind of don't even want to introduce my kids to 5. It's like,
the other problem is it's the fatigue comes in because it's a continued story. I think if we changed up the formula and like had different, let's use this example of toys. We have different toys. We have like a different country's toys, for goodness sake. We don't even have to have the same family. We do something totally outside the box. We go back in time. We could have like 1950s toys. Like what was going on back then?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's plenty of places to take this idea in this universe, but Disney just says, nope, safe bet, safe bet, safe bet.
Okay. No, I'm right behind you on that. Holy crap. All right. I didn't even think
I really love that concept, because you're basically saying we can still have access to the universe, but it doesn't have to be the same exact characters and story. And I strongly believe in that.
Okay. Right on, man. That answers that question. You freaking actually made me a believer, dude. Seriously, because I was like, let some of these things end. Let them end. But if you can find a way to, make the story fresh and new from a different perspective or whatever.
It
justifies
itself. Because Toy Story is not about Woody and Buzz. Obviously, they're very, they're iconic, but Toy Story is about toys. So.
It's kind of like what you were saying, the passing on the mantle. You can actually do that with Toy Story, because it's about the actual story and not the toy specifically,
which is what they did in Toy Story 3, right? Or 4, which one was it? Where it was like, it was okay, we're done, he grew up, and
3.
So I don't know.
Andy.
3, right? So
yeah, which was
the problem,
so sad, dude.
The problem with Hollywood and video games is that they are doing the new people, but they're using the old people. We saw this in Star Wars. We're about to see it in God of War Lao Fei. We're banking on the old name to sell you the new thing, because we aren't confident enough to give you the new thing by itself.
And Marvel too, with the new Avengers, they had to bring back everyone. They had to bring back everyone.
Turns out that Captain America didn't do well enough, so we have to bring back the real Captain America.
And guess what? I'm gonna say this. It's like where it's the same thing with gaming, right? The reason that these movies didn't do well is not because they were new characters, because they were horribly written.
Yes,
that's the problem. It wasn't no more Iron Man or Captain America, is because you didn't actually go and do a proper story, because you were trying to bank on, this is the Avengers, it's Marvel, and that now you're back to the same spot that you were at, which is now you have to bring back the old characters. And guess what? In 10 years, we're gonna try again with the new characters, and you're gonna write another bad movie, and then we're just back to the start.
And DC is never really got its legs up under them because they just don't. They're not writing good stories for that DCU. I think they're
Supergirl is gonna fucking tank.
Yeah, it's basic. I mean, it's basically Guardians of the Galaxy with Supergirl.
With space,
it's like, well, like where is the hope with that one? And one of the biggest things that I will watch Superman when it is, you know, when it starts streaming. I can't find it anywhere right now, but one of the things I absolutely hated when I heard this is his parents, how they were like, go out and conquer. And I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing with that?
Well, he stole that from Dragon Ball, to be fair.
That soured me on the entire thing. But I mean, it makes sense because that's, you know, that's part of their story. That's not part of freaking Superman's story.
Right.
You know what I mean? His dad has always been like, go out and be a light for people, be hope. You know what I'm saying? But not, he was basically a Viltrumite. You know what I mean? That just didn't know his heritage. He's Mark. He's Mark Grayson. Wait, no, that's Batman. Wait, what am I thinking?
No, you're right. You're right.
Oh,
Mark Grayson
it's Mark Grayson, and freaking his dad is Omni-Man. Like, what are we doing?
I think they were trying to sell that his upbringing with his human parents is kind of what led to him being a Superman. But I think you can do both though. So I don't think they needed to have like a contrast.
Another big problem in modern media is the found family trope that we've seen one too many billion times. So it was another found family. The same thing as Guardians. It's like, oh, it doesn't matter that your real dad was an a-hole who liked to eat plants. It's like the family you have now is more important. It's like, it sounds like some comedy gobbledygook, but whatever.
So, like, if anybody in the chat can, you know, who is really a comic book buff, can let me know. But I don't think I've ever seen a comic book, an entry, or anything where the Kryptonians were like going out for conquest. I've never seen it, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh, this is BS, bro."
That started in Man of Steel.
Well, Man of Steel.
His parents weren't evil, right? And
no, but not those. No, but I mean the Kryptonians as a conquering race.
Oh, they weren't always a conquering race.
No, but in Man of Steel, it wasn't like a overt conquer. It was like they were just going to different planets. But I guess if you're, you know, changing the environment to suit you, okay, you're right.
When you think about it, Man of Steel and Invincible have the same plot where they lost their planet and they go to a new planet. They're like, you know what, we're gonna make this our new planet. Hero has to fight. I guess that's just what everyone's writing.
Right on. But they did that in such a way where it was like, until you said that, Loki, it didn't even dawn on me. It was like, no, they were all good. It was like, but how is it good to go to a planet and freaking, you know, terraform it so the inhabitants there die, but you guys get to live there? Thank you. Sorry.
I just want people to know that Man of Steel is a terrible film, and I hate it. That's all. Just want to be clear.
Yes. I enjoyed it. I thought it was the fights were entertaining. The story, but you know, we have the iconic scene, the no. So at the end. So.
We got one from Beerus. He says, I've never heard of the Kryptonians being that evil, but yes, Loki is right. It's literally like the Saiyan race from Dragon Ball. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
and also Beerus mentioned the Superman show, which I did. I think it was on Max. I think that show was pretty good. I didn't finish it, but I thought it was pretty fun.
My Adventures with Superman animated series. Here, let me just put it up here. Beerus, just my opinion, but the new My Adventures with Superman animated series is really good. That's a refreshing new take on the Superman lore. Some like it and many don't like it, but I recommend it.
Yeah.
Okay. Right on. Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Where's the Superman video game? Dang it! Why don't we have one of those?
Oh, dude,
it's kind of hard.
There was a game. I can't remember what it was called. It's if I brought up my Steam, because I have it. I have the demo or whatever.
Is it that free to play one from the Korean people?
I want to say yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then there's oh my gosh. Okay, again, if I have my you know what? I'm just gonna bring it up. But they have some Superman like games coming out. Here, let me bring my Steam up real fast.
So you guys, what would make a good Superman game? Similar to the same problem that we would have if we try to make an Invincible game. Like, what makes a good Superman game?
They're gonna have to it's gonna have to be open world. It's gonna have to be kind of like Spider-Man. You're gonna have to get the flying right. You know what I mean?
You also have to understand fail states. Like,
okay,
Spider-Man is just a dude, like super fast, can do all this cool stuff. If you shoot him enough, he'll die.
Yeah.
We can't really do that with Superman, so we have to have him either only fight enemies with the ability to kill him, or give other fail states, and that's what past games have had the problem with. Like the 360 game that was based on the Brandon Routh movie had a city meter. It's like the city of Metropolis had a health meter, and if you didn't stop,
I like that.
Stop crimes, then the city would lose health basically, and you'd fail the game.
Right on. So this is what I got. This is like all wish list stuff. Where is it? Blackwood. I feel like that's gonna be really, really good. It's like a, what do you call it? What do you call his name?
How many do you have on here?
A lot.
He has the whole library.
It's like like Mad Max. It's at $18. I might get that the next time, but where is it?
Concord? No message.
It's like, what? I got Concord on here? No. Freaking dude.
9 Souls. That's
there it is. Game. Here, this one, Undefeated Genesis.
Gotcha.
Oh no, wait. Maybe it's better doing this.
Okay.
Dude, it's pretty.
So they have the flying down.
Like, wait till it gets to the gameplay. The gameplay is kind of sick too, but this one is the Superman like one. You know what I mean?
Okay, so 2027.
It looks super bad. They're gonna do a lot of work on this. I like the designs, but the mouth movements, you know, it doesn't look very. It's very Uncanny Valley right now. Got the laser vision.
Okay.
Even got some like Saiyan-like powers. Like, dude, sick. Oh man, so bad. Dude, that's sick. I can't wait for this game, dude. I cannot wait for it. I'm even willing to overlook the Uncanny Valley.
There's a lot to overlook. Undefeated Genesis coming to a Switch 1 near you.
PS5 and Steam. Look at that. Oh, sorry about that.
For the record, that wasn't the game I was thinking of, but apparently there's another one that's exactly like that.
Oh, right on. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. But yeah.
Dante and Virgil from DMC. I can see that, Beers. That's hilarious.
Hold on, wait. Where do I have that? There it is. Is it best Superman game is The Death of Return? Oh, okay. On the SNES and Sega Genesis or the Super Nintendo.
Damn, that was years ago. That means we haven't had a Superman game that was decent since then.
There hasn't been one since the 360, that Brandon Routh game.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's like Beer says, it almost looks like Dante and Virgil from Devil May Cry. Kind of, yeah. Right on. Do you guys have any last things to say, especially about Xbox? You know, I guess question would be, how do they get things back on track? And if they can't, what happens to them?
You have to make good games again. You have to make games people want. You have to make them cheaper.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Okay.
Understand what your core audience is, and your core audience is not the kind of people who like junk like Mixtape or Sounds of Midnight.
Right on. That's fair. And I mean, I think that the world can exist with the South of Midnight and even a Mixtape, but you cannot spend AAA money on these. It has to be legit 10, 15 million. If you're getting into the 100 millions, you've lost the plot. Even like Alan Wake 2, which it looked spectacular, you know.
Yeah.
75 million, and it took them a year to sell 1 million units. It's like
a year. Oof.
Yeah, it took a long time.
Damn.
So, you know.
But I would say they need to drop a lot of first party games, at least because when was the last time the Elder Scrolls came out? For which console was that? Was that
the last new mainline Elder Scrolls game was 2011.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skyrim.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Now they resold it several times, but yes, that was the last new one in 2011.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think they have to have a new Gears of War as of right now, because you know that's their main thing. Doom looks amazing, but Doom is not a Xbox exclusive, correct?
I don't think so.
Right. They own it, but it is not exclusive.
Okay. So I think you need to have a new Doom game, new Halo game, new Gears of War, new Fallout game, new Elder Scrolls. If you can have those 5 in rotation every 12 to 18 months, I think it gives room for the other games to breathe, because your main games, like your core audience, is getting fed. So I think that's what they need to focus on. And I think that's what Asha is trying to do. That's why she said for Halo, they're going to try to have one as often as they can. So especially too, Halo is not, obviously, a lot of people love the story of Halo. You know, you don't want to ruin Master Chief, but they can do a remake of Halo 2 and 3 and people won't mind, especially because how bad things were.
Yeah.
They would take anything right now, as long as it's quality, and if the price makes sense. If it's not $80 and you decide to take a hit, you know, like 60, it will work. But I think they need to focus on their core audience, as Loki said.
Right on. Okay, so if they aren't able to right the ship, what do you think Microsoft will do with Xbox? Do you think that they'll spin it off and try to let Xbox kind of fight for themselves, or are they going to fold it into Microsoft as a whole?
There's too much money to be made to cut it off entirely.
Okay. Yeah.
I've never bought the idea that they're going to kill freaking grifters on this website have been running with that for years. But I've never bought into that idea, because it's not like they're not a profitable company, right? They're not in. It's something we've not talked about. Sony is maybe kind of in debt, but it's not like Xbox is a non-profitable company.
Right.
They've just been overspending. Overspending is Microsoft's problem. So worst case scenario is they get spun off into their own thing, in which case the budgets will definitely have to come down anyways.
Yeah, 100%.
So we might as well lower them.
Yeah. That in one of the things when I was looking this up, like when these studios were independent, they were scrappier. Like with what was the one that did Psychonauts? Double Fine. When they were independent, there were things in Psychonauts 2 that they weren't able to, boss battles they weren't able to include. So I think that they're gonna have to go back to an independent studio mentality, and work with less of a budget. You know what I mean? But that's if they survive this, which I find I don't think they will. If they get spun off into independent, even those studios, they're gonna have to do a bunch of cutting after that. Let's say, Ninja Theory, they're just like, oh, we bought our independence back. They're gonna have to cut people. They're gonna have to go back to a independent studio kind of overhead, and then if they're able to secure funding or whatever, they're gonna have to be scraping pennies together to,
Yeah.
so
I think though, I'm going to bring up two things. So the first one is like, I think they're going to treat Xbox like Nvidia treats its gaming side, where it's like they don't report it anymore. Now it's on their, I think, Spectral Gaming, because they don't want to report something that's out of laws, because it's bad for the shareholders. But I don't think they'll ever get rid of Xbox, because you're giving up billions of dollars. Same reason why Nvidia is not going to give up gamers, because you're giving up billions of dollars, right? And the second thing is, as you said, I'm just going to use like a AI terminology. For example, when you're doing a task in AI, right, there's a token usage. So let's say if I'm using Claude, there's low, medium, high, ultra. But it doesn't matter which limit you use. If the task, if it's the wrong prompt, you're going to get almost the same result. It's just when you use the max or the ultra, you're going to waste more tokens. So when it comes to gaming, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
If the premise of the game is already bad or dead on arrival, throwing more money at it is not going to solve it. So I think we do need to lower the budget of the games, and that way too. I think that's the solution. Like, spend less, and expect more from it. And then if like, okay, let's try it out. So we spent less on this one, even if this game is only 8 hours, right? At least we get a sample size and see if people will actually be interested in this game before we go ahead and invest and bloat again for the sequel. So I think that's what we need to do. I think we know. And that's the problem too with Sony. There's not enough games. Like, I know we're talking about Xbox, but the same problem. There's not enough games that are coming out. There's not enough samples.
Yeah.
So that's the problem, where you're taking years to drop a game that costs 350 million, but no one was, because we didn't get a sample size. So I feel like that's the problem now with Xbox, Sony, is that we need more samples. And then once you have enough samples, then you can gather like your core audience, understand exactly what we want.
And along the lines,
something else.
Oh, go ahead, Loki.
To build on that, another good consequence of lowered budgets is you can lower price.
Yes.
Because a gamer understands, oh, you're selling this at $50. Oh, it must be shorter or of lower quality. And it's like, you understand that intrinsically.
Right.
You've come to expect things like, this is $60. I expect a $60 game.
$60 game.
Yes. This is 20. Oh, okay. I'm more willing to be kinder to any flaws because it's only $20.
Both great points, both of you guys. Yeah. And along the lines, what you were saying, Bab, freaking, they've got betas, alphas, early access that you can put your games out and have Concord and along the Marathon, they had their alpha tests in early access and people did not like them. I chalk that up as a write that off on your taxes. Drop Marathon and go back to Destiny. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, they're going to do. Unfortunately, they're about to cut a crap ton of jobs at Bungie. Everybody's talking about Xbox layoffs. Bungie is about to lose like 50% of the staff.
Yep, I did see that. Saw that too.
Destiny 3 ain't happening.
No,
I don't think so. They have to do something else.
I honestly, do you think they'll keep Bungie around?
No, they'll cut them.
Right on.
They're going to shut down Marathon and cut Bungie.
Yep.
It's a $4 billion loss.
Yep. Yeah. Right on. Okay.
And I would say too, the problem they have too is for some reason they think gamers don't know what they want, and that's what started me off. Because even like when they did like the alpha testing, they're probably like, nah, once we release it, the general public is going to.
No, season 2, people will like it. Trust me.
Yeah. So I think that's the problem. It's just we know what we want. We want affordable prices, and we want good games. And we want games that don't feel like. Especially that's why I don't like open world games, because a lot of games now are open world for the sake of being open world, where it just feels
Loki's a
bloated.
Fan of them.
Well, if they don't suck.
It's so I guess along those lines with Bab, what you were saying, it's like it can't be a bloated mess. Open world for open world's sake. Right. Yeah, like you said. Yeah. Right on.
Especially now, time is. I and as essence simply because with social media, because this is the other thing too that they need to realize is games don't have the same shelf life as they used to have.
Yeah.
Because even me as a streamer, once a game comes out, I probably have 2 weeks to stream it, and after that, it's on to the next. So I feel like they need to understand if you make a game shorter and you release more games, it won't increase the shelf life, but even if you fail on this one, it gives you the chance to have more attempts. Because let's take Spider-Man, right? Let's say it was 300 million. Let's say that was instead six games, right? So that's 50 million each.
Yeah.
You had 6 tries instead of just 1 try.
Yes.
So I think we just need to change that.
Yes. In some aspects, it is a numbers game. And I don't even know why you had to add 50 million to that budget, because a lot of those assets you were reusing. What is going on? Why did that cost so much?
Yeah,
because it had like 20 producers.
Yes. Yeah. A bunch of chiefs, not enough Indians. Freaking golly. Before we take off, I do Beers did bring this to top of mind. I do want to give a shout out to the panel members that aren't here. Shout out to GG, shout out to Nas, shout out to Scotty, shout out to Kenshin's girl. That is her government name, Kenshin's girl. Wish you guys here, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic whatever you're doing. Freaking miss you guys. I don't want to be all sappy, but I miss you. But thank you guys for coming through. BAVG, you can find him on Twitch, you can find him on Twitter, YouTube, and then Loki, the co-host for the Internet's Worst Gaming podcast. I always just stop at the gaming, or the Internet's Worst, but Internet's Worst Gaming podcast. Catch up on the last 2 episodes; they're freaking fantastic. Him and Stizzy, they go through the Game Fest and pick out the ones that they're looking forward to, even the ones they're not, and they say why, and it is endlessly entertaining. I love it, absolutely love it.
Thank you kindly.
Oh yeah, of course, dude. So you'll be able to find all of that in the description. I'll be able to get to that pretty soon, later today, but you'll be able to find it. You'll be able to find it in the description.
It'll be there.
Yes,
don't worry.
It will be there. But thank you guys for coming through. I really appreciate it. Such great conversations,
as always.
Yes. Anything you want to say before we sign off here?
PlayStation is in a much worse position than Xbox is, but nobody wants to talk about that.
100%. I agree. 1,000% with that. Bav.
Is it for me?
Yeah.
Just play games, man. Like, just play what you want to play, and there's nothing wrong with just playing your backlog.
Yes.
To be honest.
Yes, Nas would 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. All right. Well, shoot, man. Everyone, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yes,
Peace.